Hello, and welcome to another episode of the Ramblings of an Insomniac. I am Courtney. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to everybody out there. I hope that everybody slept well. I hope they had good dreams. I hope they woke up rested and ready to start the day. And if you are ending your day, if maybe right now you just got off work and it's evening for you, well, gosh, I hope you get to put up your feet and watch a show you want to watch, or read a book you want to read, or maybe listen to some music and take a hot bath. I don't know. Whatever it is you guys feel like doing, I hope today or the evening turns out relaxing for you. And if today is a day you want to get things accomplished, well, man, I'm wishing you positive energy and hoping you get everything on your list achieved. I have a bit of a list myself. Are you guys list makers? I love lists. I need lists. I need them, one, because I'm getting old and I just forget things. So there's that. But I've always been a big fan of Post-it notes and lists. Again, partially because it's easy, then it helps me remember things. But also, I love the satisfaction of crossing things off and being like, yeah, oh yeah. And then I give myself a little pat on the back and I'm like, I did that. I did that shit. I need that. I like it. I need the little, I just like crossing it off or check marking it and being like, check, done. I just feel like I have accomplished something. I feel like I wasn't lazy. I feel like I've achieved something. And even if it's something silly like, going to get gas in the car, going to the store, it's like, yep, did it. But I love lists. I love Post-its. I love those things. It always amazes me, waitresses or waiters and waitresses, whatever you say now, wait servers, I don't know what you say, how you can take orders from a table that's like a six-top, and they all want something different. And if, God forbid, someone's allergic to something or wants something on the side or wants a substitute, those places, like those restaurants that they have their servers where they don't write anything down, how in the fork, yeah, Henry, how do you remember those things? How in the hell? I would want people to write things down. And people are like, well, it looks tacky. It looks unprofessional. It looks unprofessional. You know what's unprofessional? If you pay a lot of money and your food's wrong, and then you have to wait for the correct food, which maybe that never happens. I just feel like that's a lot. What if you have a huge table? I could see if there's only two people. Okay, whatever. But when you have like a six-top or something, or even a four-top, and let's say they all want something different or substitutes or additions or whatever, man, my hat's off to people that can work in a restaurant. That is some hard shit. I worked in a restaurant one time. No, I'm sorry. That's not true. Twice. One time I was the dishwasher and I was younger. I was 14 and I loved it because I got to stay in the back and no one bothered me, and I got to put my head down, mind my own business, do what I do. I didn't have to deal with any of the nonsense. And then I was a hostess, and I was a hostess in a town that was a tourist town. And there was a particular time of the year when it was over the top busy. I mean, we are talking, we had no room. We did not have room for all of these tourists. We were bursting at the seams, and they would come into the restaurant just acting like fucking assholes, just dicks. And all of us locals couldn't stand this time of year and these particular groups of people. But they brought a lot of money. So we were like, oh, we had to put on our best face. But I'm not good at that. I'm not good at the whole, if I don't like you or I think you're a jackass, it's very difficult for me to fake it. I've worked in customer service my entire life. I've worked in hotels at the front desk. I have worked in as a receptionist for real estate companies, a receptionist for at a hotel. I worked, as a front desk in a hotel. I have worked as a receptionist in assisted living facilities. I have been a park ranger assistant. I have been I've worked in a lot of different, I've worked in a clothing store, in retail. I've worked as managers. I've worked as assistant managers and all different things. And I've worked in so many different types of customer service. But restaurants, man, I honest to God don't know how people do it. I really don't. People just are awful. And why would you be mean to someone that serves your food? I know people talk about this all the time, but honest to God, why would you be rude to somebody that could spit in your food, that could drop your food on the ground, that could do whatever they wanted to your food? Why? But at the same time, I do think no matter how rude someone is to you, the fact that I know personally, I hate to say this, but I personally know of two of my friends that have worked in the restaurant business that have done shady things to people's food because the people were rude. Now, granted, it took a lot. These particular people were over the top rude, and they didn't do it until they continued to be rude, but it's still not okay. That's, sometimes people are just having a bad day. Sometimes people are not sometimes people are not jerks. They're not usually that way. They're having a bad day, and they just spent a lot of money going out to eat, and they, deserve to maybe go out. Maybe they have saved to go out, or maybe they're just exhausted and they've had, they've worked hard and they don't want to cook and they want to go out. So do I think it's right for people to be rude to the wait staff of a restaurant or to anybody that works anywhere? No, I don't think it's okay. But two wrongs don't make a right either. It doesn't mean you get to spit in their food, but it happens, and I don't know why people are rude. But that said, oh man, I can't do it. I can't be fake. I can be, as in, I will bite my tongue and I'll put on a smile to certain types of rude people. I can just be like, it's fine. This isn't my business. I can't be rude. This isn't my business. I can't be rude. So, and I'm like, it's not worth my time. It's not worth my time. But then there's other types of rude that I can't bite my tongue. I mean, I can, but I don't try. I don't make the effort, and I don't make the effort to be fake. I'm just like, you know what? And that happened when I was a hostess a couple of times. I had it with just absolutely extraordinarily shitty people. And we were incredibly busy one day, and this woman was just beyond. I mean, she was just beyond. And I was just like, you know what? Go somewhere else. We don't need you. And keep in mind, we had a wait list. We had a line out the door. Trust me, we didn't need her. Trust me when I say this. And I was like, we don't need you. Go someplace else. She's like, I am. And I'm like, good luck with that, because every place around here, you're going to be waiting a long time. And I know everybody here, and I'll make a little phone call and I'll let them know who you are, and you ain't getting a table anywhere. You're not going to get a table anywhere. So just turn around and take your happy ass home and take your stupid fucking attitude with you. I didn't say that part, but I just said, I will make phone calls and you're not getting a table anywhere. And if you are, you're not going to want to eat the food that you're served. So it's best if you just go. Now, is that rude? Yeah. Is it appropriate? No. Was I granted, I want you to know I was a lot younger. This was like in my early 30s, late 20s. Not that makes it okay. I'm still an adult. I'm still a grown-ass adult. It was petty. It was immature. I didn't need to say it. Two wrongs don't make a right. But that's what I'm saying. I can't. Restaurants are just there. If you work in a busy restaurant, it's exhausting. And some people find it exhilarating. And yes, sometimes it is fun, And more often than not, people are cool, But the ones that aren't, like I worked as an assistant park ranger. And I worked at a really awesome state park. And it was very busy. And it's a state park. And you're camping. And there are two lakes there, kind of smaller lakes. And it's also near an ocean. And it's in the middle also of a bunch of trees in the woods. And people would go there knowing that they're staying at a campground. They're camping. They're not in a hotel. And somehow people would come to me and want their money back or complain about squirrels and raccoons and mosquitoes. And that kind of shit I didn't have patience for either. I'm like, you understand that you're not at the Hilton, right? You understand that this isn't glamping. You signed up for camping, And you understand that when there are two little lakes around and you're in the middle of the woods, there are probably going to be mosquitoes and woodland creatures. And people be like, they ate my food. Well, yeah, there's signs all over the place to make sure that you put your things away, because the raccoons and the creatures that live in the woods will get to your food. And honestly, we don't like you attracting those things either. And honestly, it pisses people off that are actually listening and following the rules. And the people that work here and live here, when you attract these animals, just like my neighbor, God, the same park that I worked at, the same state park that I worked at, my backyard was pretty much the state park. So we had raccoons and black bear and cougar and deer, all kinds of wildlife. And mainly we had a boatload of raccoons. Well, she had a boatload of cats. And she loved to feed the raccoons cat food. And she also loved to feed her cats outside on the porch. And we would tell her all the time, stop doing this. Your cats are going to get killed or hurt. And now you are also attracting all of these raccoons around our animals. And I'm sorry, you guys, you may think raccoons are cute and sweet and all of that. And they are cute. And they can be sweet. But they also can be very, very ferocious. And they can use those claws and those teeth. And they get incredibly pissy and territorial and angry when they're trying to eat food and another animal gets the food that they want, like a cat. So if a cat or a small dog or a medium-sized dog comes at a raccoon when they're trying to eat, more often than not, they're going to try to hurt that animal. And we don't want a bunch of raccoons because they're also little fuck faces when you do start feeding them and then all of a sudden you stop. Well, now they've expected it. You're also making them not learn to forage for food, like go get berries and the stuff, they need to be eating. We need to stop feeding wild animals, because when you start feeding wild animals, then they don't learn how to feed themselves. They don't learn how to hunt. They don't learn how to forage. They don't learn to be the animal that they are. You're taking away their instincts. You're making them prey. You're making them weaker. You are harming them. You are harming these animals when you are feeding them. I know you want to feed them. I get it. I love animals. I love animals. I love them so much that I don't want them harmed. I love them so much that I want them to be protected and healthy and strong and wise and know how to hunt and know how to gather and know how to forage and know how to take care of themselves, because they're out in the woods and they have to be strong because it's Darwin out there. So when you're feeding them and you're coddling them, you are teaching them to be weak, just like when you do it to your children. God knows, I can tell you, I have 2 sons, and one, I made him do everything on himself. I mean, of course I'm there for him. I loved him, but I mean, he had to learn how to do things on his own. And he had accountability, and no meant no. And we taught him how to drive a stick shift, to change a tire, to chop wood, to shoot a gun. No meant no. He had boundaries. He had rules. And he turned out a lot more respectful and a lot kinder and a lot more compassionate. And he understands things a lot better. And we have a better relationship, and he has a better relationship with people. Is he perfect? No. Again, none of us are. And then I have another son who I love dearly, and he has many wonderful qualities. And I'm not trying to say I love one more than the other or one is better than the other. I'm just saying you can see the difference between, the gentle parenting and they do everything for your kid, because I did that with my younger kid, and now he's not self-sufficient. I mean, yes, he knows how to chop wood and he knows how to shoot a gun and fix things and fix a tire and change a tire and fix stuff. Yes. But he has no idea what bills are and how to pay them and just other things. And he doesn't like accountability. He can't stand accountability. He can't stand authority. He's just a lot less empathetic. He's not sympathetic. He's a lot more entitled, a lot whinier, a lot less grateful and appreciative. I love him very, very much. He's smart. He's got a lot of good qualities. Again, I'm not trying to say one is better than the other. I'm just saying there's differences. Well, when you do that to animals, just like the only time I think you should have animals in a zoo or held captive is if they are being poached. So you're protecting them. You're literally protecting them so that they don't become extinct, so that they're not harmed. Or if they're about ready to go extinct. Although I'm on the fence about that, because I'm like, well, are they extinct because of humans? Because if they're extinct because of humans, because humans have caused it, like poaching, then I think we should protect them. But if they're going extinct because of nature has decided to give them some type of parasite or something, maybe that is nature's way. Maybe that is, God's way, or who the universe, whatever you want to say. Gwen, come. Yes, good, come, yes. Whatever you want to call it, maybe that's nature's way of going, I don't think this is good. I think this particular specimen is being invasive now, so we need to get rid of it, like certain plants or something. And maybe, it's the universe or God's way of going, this thing is going to cause a problem. It's going to cause a parasite, or it's going to cause a disease, or it's going to cause whatever, so we should no longer have it. Now, again, we can go back and forth on, well, was that a man-made thing? Like, are they getting parasites because of something man created, and something man created gave them? There's all of these different things. That's why I like to say I don't believe things are black and white usually. The whole, do you like this or that? Are you a cat or a dog person? I can't like both. Do you like vanilla or chocolate? I can't like both. Although I have to say, I've said this before, I'm not a huge fan of chocolate. But why can't people like both? And there's a lot of gray areas. Again, death penalty and abortion or something. I think I see both sides of the fence on so many different things. And so we're so into like, you have to like this or that. Pick one. Pick a side. Pick a side. Humans are so territorial. We have to force. We have to stake our claim. This is mine, unga bunga. This is my woman. This is my territory. I'm going to squat here. I'm going to plant my flag here, and I'm not moving. And then when we want something, we go in and we raid it and we conquer it, and we're like, this is mine. We're very brutal. We've always been this way. Humans are complex. There has to be other life forms. There has to be the odds of there not being life on other planets or in other universes, other galaxies or whatever is improbable. Now, whether it's, intelligent life or not, who knows? Gwen, come. Hey. Yes. Whether it's intelligent life, who knows? But my son was watching a show about a gentleman who was apparently dead for 7 minutes. And he talked about how Earth is basically a challenge, that's where people go for a challenge. Or this is where people go because they're like, man, I want to see what it's like to be a human. I want to be up for the challenge. Or where people have gone where, basically for a challenge. Because being a human, we're riddled with hormones and so many emotions. And like I've talked about, why does one person become an addict and someone else doesn't? Why does one person become a serial killer and someone else doesn't? Why is one person a bully? Why does one why does one person abuse their children and another person, doesn't, when they can come from the same backgrounds, because we're different people. We're made up of so many different emotions and hormones and factors. And sure, it could look on the surface like someone has the same life. They're both women that were born in the same time, and they're both from divorced households in the same area in a bigger city and blah, blah, blah. But that still doesn't mean what someone has gone through is the same. What someone's experience is it's not the same. All of our experiences are different. And one slight thing can change it all. We always say in a blink of an eye, something can happen. Or I just looked away for 1 second. For 1 second, I looked away and blah, blah, blah happened. And it's like, yeah, things can change. And just like our lives can be so different. One person can be an addict while somebody else is like, I saw that someone drank so much or did so many drugs. I saw what it did to them and I wanted no part of it. It just depends. And that's why it's hard. I try, but I still do it sometimes. I still do it because I'm not perfect. But I try not to judge if someone, is being a jerk and someone is yelling at me. Of course, sometimes I'm like, dang, I didn't do anything. And sometimes I take it personal. But we need to learn to not take things so personal, because that kind of makes us narcissistic. Doesn't it? Don't you feel like if we always think that someone bumps into us, it's on purpose? Or if they're mad at us, it's about, if they're mad that it's about us, what did we do? Or we're like, I didn't do anything. You probably didn't do anything. It probably has nothing to do with you whatsoever. And again, I've done this, so I'm not riding my high horse acting like I'm, impervious? Is that a word you guys? It's a word, right? That's a word, impervious. I don't know. I think it is. I'm going to use it. And if it's not, well, whatever. I have done this many times. Someone will cut me off and somehow I'm like, they're cutting me off. No, they're just cutting off a stranger, or they didn't see me, or a million other things. They weren't like, I know what I'm going to do, cut off Courtney Perry. They don't know who the fuck I am. And if someone is intentionally doing something, it still probably isn't about you in particular, like you insert name here. It's probably just about the fact that you're a human that happens to be in their way on the day that they happen to be having a bad day, and therefore they're taking it out on you. They're not taking it out on you, Jane Smith. They're taking it out on you, human, who they happen to be mad at all humans right now because things are going on in their life. Wouldn't it be amazing if we would give grace? Grace is something we have forgotten. We have forgotten accountability. We have forgotten grace. We have forgotten gratitude and accountability. We have forgotten just being a family, It's sad. It's sad that, like I said, I was so excited and it made me feel like 1950s Americana, like a Norman Rockwell painting when I was dog sitting and I saw these kids and these families outside playing, even in the rain. And it wasn't just one day. It was like every night they would get home from school, or if it was a weekend, they would go out in the afternoon and they were playing basketball or tag or doing something together as a family. And they were happy. They didn't look miserable. It didn't look forced. Kids weren't rolling their eyes and having their phones out, just pretending to do something. No one had a phone. That is so amazing. I miss that, I grew up like that. That's how I grew up, riding bikes and being outside and, the whole Generation X things that we say all the time. Everybody yawns and rolls their eyes like, blah, blah, blah. We know Gen X. You guys are awesome. Hey, I didn't say it. You did. I'm just kidding. We say it all the time. Gen X, we toot our own horn quite a bit. Toot, toot. If it rocks, I can't help it. We're pretty great. And we are not afraid to talk about how great we are. We're pretty narcissistic that way. Yeah, I have a backup. You hear that? Yeah, they're like, yeah, you go, girl. Yeah, you tell it, girl. Yeah, you go. So, all I'm saying is, sometimes we can stop ourselves and say, it isn't about me. This person's probably just in a bad mood because it's about them, because they are having a bad day. And so we can learn to be an adult and just let it go. Because at the end of the day, do we really genuinely, truly care? Nowadays we do care about followers and likes. Got to have someone like us, like us, like us. It's all about like. We can't please everybody. And if we spend all of our time and energy trying, we're never going to be happy. Somebody is always going to hate us, disagree with us, and think we suck, and think we're ugly and not doing enough, and all of these things. There's always going to be someone that is racist. There are always going to be prejudiced people. There are always going to be killers, unfortunately. There are always going to be grapists and schmedophiles, unfortunately. So we have choices to try to make the world better by volunteering or by changing legislation or by trying to get, mental health in a better place. Or we can be an adult and ignore, or we can swipe right or left. We can close our eyes. We can keep walking. Or we can try to have civil conversations and communicate with people civilly and respectfully and try to agree to disagree. Or better yet, try to come to some type of agreement. There are so many options we have in life other than being a douche lord or making it about us and not giving grace and not forgiving. I had to learn the hard way. I always equated forgiving to condoning. I thought that if I forgave someone, it meant that I was condoning everything they did, that I was saying that everything they did is just hunky-dory, A-okay, and I needed to just let it go. Well, I should probably let it go, but it doesn't mean that the things these people did to hurt me was okay. That is not what forgiving is. Forgiving is taking that burden off of you. Forgiving is letting go so that you can have peace of mind and you can breathe deeper and say, you know what? I understand. And we talked about it. And, I'm going to choose to forgive you because forgiving is actually about ourselves. It's not for the other person. That sounds terrible, but it's for us. It's so that we can genuinely not carry that luggage anymore and we can get that weight off of our shoulders and go. And then if the other person just happens to, you guys tend to genuinely move on and forgive and you've gone to a good place, that's amazing. But you can also forgive, and that doesn't mean that you have to be friends anymore. It doesn't mean you have to talk ever again. You don't have to if it ends up working out that you can. That's amazing. Win-win. But it's just sad to me that we just aren't adults anymore, and we're training our kids. We are grooming our children to be adults right away. We're not allowing them to be children, to have a childhood. We're immediately objectifying them and talking about sex right away, especially when we do things like talk about what they identify as. They don't even know that word. Just let their imagination be their imagination without dissecting it and putting labels on it and taking them to therapy and making them talk about it. My God, let them just be kids. Let them just be a unicorn. It doesn't mean they want to be a unicorn. Maybe they say they want to be a unicorn, and maybe they do because they're 5 and they don't get what that is, though. And if they still want to be a unicorn when their brains are fully developed and their hormones are fully developed, then that's a whole other conversation. But just because a child wants to pretend to be something or says they like something a lot or wants to be something, if they said I wanted to be a mom, are you going to go knock up a 5-year-old because they really want to be a mom? Are you going to go let them adopt a child? Are you going to go let them adopt a kid because they want to be a mom? Because they claim that they are I really am a mommy. No, I really am a mommy, says some 5-6-year-old. No, I'm a mommy. Oh, okay. So you're not going to entertain that. You're not going to have them pay bills and drive a car and get a job and, adopt some kids, are you? No. So why are we entertaining it when they say, I don't even think these kids say I want to be a boy. They might say something like, my name's Bobby. Ha, ha, ha. Oh, my daughter identifies as being a boy. We need to totally cut off her body parts and inject her with completely irreversible, unsafe hormones because one time she called herself Fred. Like, what? And then there's people out there that are like, yeah, it sounds totally logical to me. I think that sounds like the next logical step. And then they still have kids. And they're still allowed to be parents. Meanwhile, parents that are against this are having their kids taken away. It's a weird world out there, It's crazy. God, I got dark real quick, didn't I? That went down a whole dark, thing. Sorry, I'm just getting irritated. I'm still annoyed over Jimmy Kimmel. If one more person says it's just a joke, I don't fucking care. You can think it's funny, and he can call it a joke. Just like if I want to call a black person the N-word, I can go, what? I'm just joking. What? I'm just joking. What's the big booger about? It's just a word. What? I'm referring to the fact that back in the day, that word used to mean slow. It wasn't even just referring to just black people. It just meant slow. And then it got associated with black people. So if I say just joking after it, suddenly it makes it okay. And he has the right to say whatever he wants. He can. That's fine. Doesn't make it appropriate, though. Doesn't make it okay, though. And he's been saying these things for many years now. Like I've said 1,000 times, he would not have he wouldn't have a show if it weren't for Trump, because that's all Trump lives rent free in Jimmy Kimmel's mind. He is obsessed. I think he masturbates. I'm pretty sure. Jimmy, do you have like a poster of Trump in a Speedo on your wall? When you and your wife are having sex, do you secretly picture Trump's face? I think you do, Jimmy. I think that when you are in the shower, you stay in there a little extra so that you can whack off to Trump. Because no person, other than the people on The View, well, liberals in general, I think they all have posters of Trump on their wall. I think they spend a lot of time, extra time, in the bath or the shower. And they're just like, oh, Trump, you're my daddy. Because no person, even people that support Trump, thinks about Trump as much as they do. Republicans, conservatives, his own family. I don't think Melania fantasizes about Trump as much as Jimmy Kimmel does. It's weird, man. Jimmy, you're a weird dude. And again, if you guys haven't watched The Man Show, I want everybody to watch The Man Show, because Jimmy Kimmel is a pig. He's gross. But that was back then. He didn't mean it. Funny how if Trump or any Republican does things back in the day and they don't mean it, and they've grown and they've matured and they've learned from their mistakes, how somehow they're still held accountable, and somehow it's still bad, and somehow they're crucified, and people say horrible things and not only hold them accountable, but like I said, they are crucified for it. But if a liberal does something, it's, they were like Whoopi Goldberg with blackface, or Joe Behar with blackface, or Jimmy Kimmel with blackface. Well, they were just kidding. So if a liberal adds just kidding to it, or it's a joke to it, or it was a long time ago, if it happened a long time ago, it's okay. But if a Republican says just joking, or it was a long time ago, not okay. Weird world, Just an observation. I got dark, people. I'm sorry. This is what I get when I start watching social media again, man. Oh. But that's okay, because I've also been out playing with puppies. I'm getting ready to see another dog. I just had a Bernedoodle, which is a Bernese Mountain Dog, and a poodle. I thought they were 5 or 6 months old, but they were only 4 months old. And I have been getting blown up with the reservations. I am so full. It's not even funny. I'm full now into November. So I have appointment after appointment after appointment. So right now I am chilling out with my pooches outside, enjoying this thing called life. Electric word life, that means forever. And I mean to tell you, there's something else. The afterworld. A world of never-ending happiness. Okay, anyway, sorry. So, do you want to know what's awesome? You're freaking awesome. I'm talking to you. I'm talking to you. I'm talking to you, Japan. Japan has been rocking it with listening to my podcast. What up, Japan? Whoop, whoop. What up, Singapore? What up, Germany? What up, Canada? What up, UK? And of course, good old United States of America. There are, and of course, I mean every country, every single human from every city, from all over this planet. If you have listened to me once, or since the beginning, you're a badass. You're amazing. And I genuinely can't thank you enough. Like I said, I always try to think of new ways to thank you, cooler ways, but I don't know. I'm not that creative. I try, but I don't really know how else to say I'm grateful other than to just say it, to say I mean it. I really genuinely mean it. You guys are amazing. And every time I look to see how many people have tuned in, more and more people are. So I hope you continue to do so. I hope that you tell a friend, tell a neighbor, tell a spouse, tell a coworker, shout it from the rooftops. I really appreciate it. And I appreciate everybody from every country. Like I said, it's fun to learn about different countries. Sometimes there's someone from a country and I'm like, wow, where's that? So It's pretty great. I love it. And remember, try to control the things you can and let go of all the rest. Just let it go. Just throw it down like Sandy with her cigarette on grease. Throw it down, stomp on it, and be like, and then walk away. Whether you're a guy or a girl, strut away. Just strut away from that shit. Strut away from the drama. Strut away from those that can't seem to get their own act together. You don't want to be around that. You don't want to be around classless, distasteful people who can't seem to get it together. That just brings you down. You know what I mean? Surround yourself by people you admire, by people you respect, by people that have good character that will be there for you. You know? But let go of all of those things that you have no control over because it just bogs you down. I'm learning this. I have it tattooed, not let it go, not like Frozen, but let go. I got it when I was like 18 because I'm that neurotic and I had to be like, oh yeah, I can't control it. I've got to let it go. Take a deep breath in through your nose and out through your mouth. I hope you have a wonderful and blessed day. Until next time.